Thanks for joining us today. We have Coach Rhule here to answer questions you guys have. Everyone should have recording access. If not, just let me know. With that said, we can get right into questions and we'll start.
Hey, Preston, I'm going to start off with just a quick statement, if that's okay.
Go ahead, Coach.
Hey, just three things. I wish I would have said this after the game. I was obviously pretty excited after the game and tired too, so I should have said it. But number one, I wanted to make sure I recognized what a great job that Zane did. I thought that was one of the key factors in the game. For us to get points right before the half, for him to kick the 57-yard field goal, career long. I know it's a dome, but the doors were open, the wind was blowing, there was a 12-mile-an-hour wind. So I thought Zane was exceptional yesterday and kicking the ball off through the end zone. So credit to him and Chase Blackburn and all those guys. That's just gotten better and better and better every week. Number two, I thought our fans there were awesome. There was a large contingency there. I know it's Halloween. I know that, but there were a lot of people out there with Panthers jerseys on and walking off the field at the end. There was a whole group. So I want to thank all those fans. When we've been on the road this year, there's been a lot of people. And then third, I know you guys are going to ask me about Sam. Sam will see the doctor today. So obviously he's in the concussion protocol. We'll wait and see where he's at before, any next steps. So don't have a lot hypothetically after that, just waiting to see, obviously I saw him this morning walk around, but waiting to see how his doctor's appointment goes. So with that, I'll see if you guys have any questions about yesterday or this week's game.
Let's go to Brett Jensen to start us off.
Hey, Matt, real quick question about Sam. I'll follow up on that real quick. Have you guys already started looking at potential other quarterbacks that you might bring in just in case? And the other thing about yesterday's game, I know you guys won, but I'm curious. I mean, you can play poorly and still win and play great and still lose. Did you see a better effort? Did you see better all-around things yesterday?
Yeah, I hope everyone did. Held an NFC South team to 213 yards of offense. Had the ball for 35 minutes, ran it 46 times, was over 50% on third down. I mean, it was probably one of the better games I've been associated with here. I think, everyone, we're going to have to come to terms with that. We're a defensive football team. And when we play good defense, we win the takeaway battle, we're going to win games. Part of that on offense is running the football. I'd like to score Brett some more touchdowns in the red zone. And we had a chance to do that. DJ had a chance for the one, I challenged it, didn't win that challenge. So obviously would like to score some more points, but to have a 2-score lead with 30 seconds left, in the National Football League is hard. And so I was proud of our guys. I thought they played well as a team together. And that was something I liked. In terms of, the first part of your question, obviously Scott's always doing a good job and his people always doing a good job of looking, for all contingencies. But, for us, I think we just go through the process of seeing where Sam's at first and then go from there. That's always the best way to approach it.
All right, let's go to Ellis Williams.
Coach, if Sam Darnold's unable to play Sunday, would PJ Walker be the starter?
Again, I'm not going to get into too many hypotheticals. I mean, right now, if he was not unable to play, PJ would be the next guy up. But again, I'm hopeful, obviously, that Sam will play, and we'll see how that plays out, today and throughout the course of the week.
All right, go to Joe Person next.
Hey, Matt, didn't really get a chance to ask you this yesterday, but there was a report that that Christian had been mentioned in a trade talk with Houston, and then a follow-up that you and Scott both independently, presumably independently, reached out and talked to Christian Friday night. How did that conversation go, and what did you want to tell him?
Yeah, I'm not going to share conversations I have with players. I hope everyone understands that. I mean, it's just the way of the world. Sometimes reports are written and then it's kind of taken as fact, and then I have to comment on things that aren't true. So, you guys asked me last week. I always try to communicate with our players and, as best I can. But nothing much beyond that.
Was there anything about that report you want to address publicly?
No, I don't. I try to do a good job of just staying focused on the games and all that stuff. I can't, to me, every time someone writes, if someone says a report and I comment on everything, then I'm giving it veracity, so, I think we've been pretty forthright about kind of where we are with everything, and hopefully our actions speak to that.
Let's go to Scott Fowler.
Matt, I'll ask you something short and one short follow-up. How do you think PJ Walker has played so far this year?
Obviously really disappointed on that throw he made on the goal line. You know, I mean, I think that's a ball you get out there and you throw away. So, you know, that's unacceptable. You know, the play clock, you know, that's on us as coaches. You know, had a really hard time, you know, ran the speed option effectively. Had a hard time, you know, I thought that was an excellent play by him. Chuba should walk in, you know, on that. Chuba cut up instead of running to the pylon. You know, the play clock, you know, we've kind of instructed the quarterbacks, hey, we'll handle that. We've got to be better, you know, just some of the communication with the officials in terms of where we're at. And then, you know, for the rest of the game, you know, he handed the ball off and managed it. You know, one of the things about being a backup quarterback for us is, you know, you kind of always go in dire situations. You know, he got in last week and, you know, you're down 2 scores and, hey, throw us back into the game. You know, I thought made a great first play, got escaped the pocket, made a big throw down the field to DJ. That's kind of what he brings, Scott. You know, the ability to get outside the pocket and make plays. So I don't know if there's enough to comment on what he's done. I'll say this. I don't think there's a guy in the locker room that doesn't believe in him. You know, I think most of our guys see him at practice, see him, you know, and saw him last year against Detroit and know that, you know, that he can lead us. All that being said, he has to protect the football, and we can't go out there and turn the ball over. And that's really the tail of our season. So if PJ's you know asked to play, I expect that he'd play well. To comment on the season, to answer your question, you know, I always look at everything kind of in the moment situationally. You know, it obviously could be better, but I think he's been put in some tough situations and you know, with the course of a full game and the whole game plan and the practice reps of a week, I believe that he could do a really nice job for us.
That was such a good answer. It got to my follow-up too. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to David Newton for the next question.
Hey, Matt, I'll stick on PJ. I got 2 questions. First is when you first saw him way back, I guess, with Temple, what attracted you to PJ, made you feel like he's a guy that can be a winner?
You know, I got the Temple job and he was committed, and I went to look at him, and, you know, he'd been the starting quarterback at Elizabeth High School since he was like a freshman. Took him to the state championship game as a junior and they lost. And then as a senior, drove the ball like, I don't know, 99 yards and threw the game winning touchdown as time expired. I never forget. I went to a recruiting trip and we went to dinner with him and another teammate of his that committed to us, Jihad Thomas, who was a great player for us. And then another kid, Jihad Pretlow. And I remember sitting there, and Jihad and PJ the whole time, all they talked about was the year before and the one that they didn't win. Don't get driving nuts. And so, you know, obviously PJ came to us and played for us at Temple. Was an excellent player for us. And he's here with us now. So as I said, I think every guy in this locker room believes in PJ.
And second, I guess you saw what's going on with the Titans and Derrick Henry with his injury. He's a guy that carries a big load, just like Christian McCaffrey carries a big load when he plays for you guys. After seeing what you guys did, I think I kind of asked a little bit yesterday, seeing what you guys did with 3 backs and Sam Darnold running the ball, does that make you rethink that spreading the load out's maybe better to take some stress off the body of a guy like Christian and even guys like Derrick Henry?
Yeah. You know, I think when you say rethink, I think, you know, obviously I've only coached Christian a couple games. You know, this year was the first 3 games and really the first 2 games, and, you know, Chuba hadn't really emerged yet. So I agree with you. I mean, I think just based off, take Christian out of it, I think, you know, when you have guys you trust, I thought Royce played a really good game yesterday. It was physical, downhill, you know, got hit a couple of times at 4 yards and ran for, you know, 6-7 yards. Amir, I thought, brought a jolt to us, you know, catching the ball in the backfield on 3rd down, the screens, the run. So, to me, it's not just about, you know, Christian. It's just about, hey, those guys have really emerged for us. And so, you know, we want them all to play. And so we'll see where Christian's at this week. But I think just in general, him coming back, forget about what's happened. Just, you know, I want to see Chuba Hubbard on the field too, you know, and I want to see Amir and on the field too, and so forth. So, you know, it's a good problem to have.
Thank you.
Let's go to Jonathan Alexander.
Matt, based on what you may have seen from film, what was it that you kind of took away from what the offensive line did well and how you all could replicate it? And then I have a follow-up after that.
Well, I think one of the big things was Trent Scott went in there and played really well at guard. Played with great effort and physicality. Wasn't always perfect. I think the quarterback got hit once or twice, but I think they did a nice job. We knew coming into that game that, we'd run a lot of wide zone. We needed some double teams. We needed to run some power. Sam did a really nice job, at the line of scrimmage, getting us in the right plays. And I just, the guys ran hard and they played hard. And I think even as we watch the tape, we'll see a lot of plays we left out there that could be better. So, it's not even about replicating it. We're playing a whole new team this week. We ran it, a bunch of times last week. We have to throw it that many times this week. Who knows? Well, the game dictates itself. If a team puts 10 guys in the box, you're probably going to have to throw it, and you have to be able to throw it well. I just thought the guys did a nice job of executing the game plan for that week. We'll see what the game plan is this week. You take out, Jonathan, if you take out two first play of a drive penalties, could have been even better. So you can't have two false starts to start drives. But I was proud of our offensive line. They played hard. They played physical. It was a good step. It's a whole new week this week, though.
And I don't mean this as an indictment on them, but of course you all have had struggles early in the season. Would you all, or are you all considering trading for offensive line?
Kind of the same answer I've said. Scott looks at everything when people call us. Before the trade deadline. So I'm sure him and Pat and Dan are probably on the phone all day today. They have been for all positions. We'll look at every trade. So we'll see what happens.
Let's go to Will Palachik.
Matt, in terms of the balance of your time here, you haven't had Christian for the majority of the games you've coached him for. How much better do you feel like this team is adequately prepared for a game plan offensively that does not include him, because you basically have had to deal with that balance of your time here?
I think every week we go out there, whoever's available, we try to utilize and play with. And I think the one thing I've tried to hopefully communicate, when I've been asked these questions, is it's not like guys in the locker room are, not like a wide receiver is worried about who's playing at running back or O-line. We all care about each other, want guys to be healthy, but everyone tries to go out and execute their assignment, execute their job. And, we got it done this past week. We hadn't got it done for 4 weeks before that. This week, I think some guys really stepped up and made plays at the running back position, which helped us. Hopefully we get Christian back soon. Hopefully it's this week. If not this week, maybe next week. Obviously he's one of the best players in football, right? He brings something. You saw what it was like having Shaq back out there yesterday, right? You saw what it was like having Stephon go out there and play. Great players make plays at crucial times. But when they're not out there, other guys make plays. And so I thought Amir and Chuba made plays. Hopefully Christian's out there soon.
And you said you'll know more about it on Wednesday in terms of his status for this week?
Yeah, he'll practice Wednesday, I'm hoping. And if he practices on Wednesday and does well, we'll see how he is Thursday and just kind of, ramp him up towards the game. He hasn't practiced yet. So, there's always a return to play component to it, but no one works harder than Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he'll be in, when he comes back, he'll be in shape and he'll be ready to go. So hopefully we have him. We'll know more as the week goes on.
Let's go to Darren Gant.
Matt, going back to the offensive line, how much of the improvement yesterday was based on those five guys playing better versus running the ball as much as you did, putting them in better position?
Well, it's a good question. I think they played really well. I want to put it there first, right? They did a lot of really good things. And when you have a 6-yard run on first down, it's easy to run the ball on second down, right? It's when you have a 9-yard run, a 1-yard run on first down, you have to pick your spots on second down. But they did a nice job of good first down runs. really the 3 and outs came from penalties, so I want to give the credit to them, and then obviously them playing well, protecting well, allowed us then to, convert some third downs. Again, we were 59%. And at the end of the game, we kind of ran the ball on some third downs to run the clock and take away their timeout. So, because it was a 2-score game. So I'd say, they're probably in the 60, 65, 70% range on third down. That's a credit to them, but also to, Sam and all those things. So anybody can say they want to run the football, but you have to have success to run the football over 35 times. Right. And for us to run it, whatever it was, 46, that's a lot. So, some of that was Sam running the football. It was one of my goals going into the game was Sam running the football some. And I thought he did an excellent job. So, but I think the credit, Darren, goes to the offensive line, the tight ends as well. We had 2 penalties at the tight end position that really hurt us. We had a 2nd and 1 hold that, was really, really, really a tough play for us. Would have had the ball down in the red zone. So a lot of good things, still things we have to improve, but for that game, I thought those guys played really well.
And to follow up on one thing you said earlier, you said something about we've got to come to grips with the fact that we're a defensive football team. What do you mean by that?
No.
Or
I say that I think everyone has to.
Yeah.
Like we got four. We got when we line up to rush the passer, we've got three sometimes 3 first rounders rushing the passer. You know what I'm saying? We got a first rounder and a second rounder at corner. We have an all pro at corner. I mean, we got a lot of draft picks. We have a first rounder at linebacker. We have a lot of first rounders on defense and second rounders on defense. Right. So and that's, I'm saying that to say like those guys, like they've been our strength. The offenses had some good games, some bad games. They've come along. This game, we said, hey, let's go try to play great defense and let's run the football. It's what we should have done the last couple of games. It's what we said we were going to do. And it just didn't quite get executed. It got executed this game. So I think some of us, when we're out there, just in general, like when it's a 13-10 game, don't find that, when it's a defensive struggle, think it's an ugly game. But like anytime you can win in Atlanta, I mean, it's really hard to do. And that's why I thanked our fans being there, because you go on the road, it's always great to have your fans there. It gives you support. I mean, playing in front of fans, I can't tell you how much that impacts players. And so, but I just say, like, we're a defensive football team. It doesn't mean we don't want to play great offense, but we don't want to throw the ball 50 times and
followed by Steve Reed.
Hey, Matt, I kind of asked this a little bit tongue in cheek, but was there a conversation afterwards with Joe after he ran the ball 46 times, just because we know he likes to throw the ball kind of naturally, that he was successful in running the ball and it worked, and may have been painful for him, sarcastically?
No, I don't think it was painful for him. I think, Joe Brady wants to win so badly. I think he's been trying to, we've been trying to find the right formula for us. And so it's one thing to say we want to run it. It's easy for me as a head coach. You got to find the ways to run it. And so what I like yesterday is we ran power, we ran counter, we ran duo, we ran wide zones, we ran shotgun runs. I mean, there was a lot of versatility to it. And then, we had Shi Smith, blocking on a crack toss, blocking the defensive end. I mean, a lot of guys stepped up. So, Joe obviously is a passing game guy, knows the passing game, but he knows the run game too. And he wants to run it. I think that's, when you have coordinators who can adapt to the situation and to the game and to the players, that's the mark of a great coordinator. So I think what Joe did yesterday was awesome. I was proud of him. I told him I thought it was elite. I thought it was elite by Pat Meyer. It was our 6th offensive line combination in 8 games, and went out there. Trent Scott's, I don't think ever started a game at guard in the NFL, and they're facing one of the best defensive tackles in football, if not the best, in Grady Jarrett. And we found a way to run it at those guys. And so that's I thought that was a nice coaching job and player job, but I was proud of Joe. I really was.
And then real quick, I asked Stephon after the game, does this week mean a little bit extra? And he said it means a lot extra. So how much do you kind of keep an eye on that? Sam never let on to the Jets game, but just him just being a human being going against his former team.
I'll be honest with you. Stephon is such a pro. I mean, you see the way he practices and the things he does. Like I got, I'm not going to worry about him. I always, my way of always looking at things is, But I'm not playing. So as a coach, I'm always trying to, if one game means more to me than what the other games probably didn't mean enough. That being said, I'm not worried about Stephon Gilmore. I mean, he's a pro's pro. For the rest of our guys, I'm going to just keep preaching process and one day at a time, 1 week at a time, one game at a time, one play at a time. We did that this week. We enjoyed the battle this week, and we were a good team. So hopefully our guys understand that this is how we're going to win or have a chance to win each week is to just be really focused on the details.
Matt, I was also going to ask you about Stephon. I think he played 32% of the plays. I know it's his first game working back in there. Do you see him having an expanded role this week? And do you feel like he will start this week?
I don't know. I don't even know yet how he kind of came out of the game, physically. Usually the doctors meeting with the guys now, and then we start meetings at 12:45, and I get a feel afterwards. So I hope he's ready. I hope we can use. I'd love to use him as much as possible. At the same time, we'll use him as much as he can go. And so I thought they did it. We only played 50 plays last week on defense, so that was a shortened game. Wanted to use him in some packages and then save him for the end of the game 2 minute, which obviously he went out and executed. So we'll see where he's at this week.
Guys, we got time for a few more, so let's go to Joe Person and then David Newton, finish with Ellis Williams.
How's Robbie doing after that big hit?
He was good yesterday. I think, got that air knocked out of him, came back to play. Obviously made the great play on the hands team. So it seemed like he was okay.
And then do you and Scott talk about buying versus selling at the trade deadline? Or are you sort of open to whatever improves your team short-term, long-term? How do you kind of go about that?
Yeah, I think every team's sort of looking to see what their options are for their team, what's best for them, right? So if there's a player that can help us, great. If there's value you can get for somebody, I mean, I think we like our football team. I mean, we're not not where we want to be. We like our guys, and we don't have anything like, hey, we need to get rid of this guy. We got a bunch of really good guys, and so we're just trying to grow together. So I think we'll take everything just as it comes.
Hey, Matt, you've been asked a lot this season about not taking Justin Fields, but not much about Mac Jones, and you guys had him at the Senior Bowl. Can you just comment on why you guys didn't look, or how seriously you guys looked at him, and how you feel like he's playing right now?
Well, I love Mac Jones. I enjoyed every second of having him at the Senior Bowl, and there was not a lot of doubt that he was going to be an excellent player. There was not a lot of doubt that he's going to be a long-time, NFL player and starter. And obviously, I'm only taking a cursory look at them right now, but they're 4-4. They have an explosive offense, they're explosive in the run game and in the passing game. I think Mac's a winner. He's tough. He's smart. We made the decisions we made. We believe that J.C. Horn's going to be one of those guys that is a dominant player for a long time. I wish he was playing right now. He wishes he was playing right now, but we're going to have him here in Carolina, hopefully for a long time. And I think he'll be an excellent player. So we went with a defensive player, but that's no slight on anyone else. There's no doubt when we had him that Mac is going to be a long-term excellent NFL quarterback.
And a quick follow, there's one quarterback that's out there right now saying Sam's out for a while. Is Cam Newton even on your radar?
I talked, I'm obviously not going to get into hypotheticals. I mean, I'm going to see what happens with Sam today. I'm just going to take that process, one thing at a time, and worry about him first and then work out afterwards.
Matt, what was it like having Shaq back in the lineup yesterday, and what improvements does he provide to your defense in Atlanta yesterday?
It was awesome to have Shaq back. It was awesome. Besides being a great player, an impact player, I mean, obviously you saw the interception. A couple of times guys got out of their gaps and he ran it down from the backside. He also does such a good job out there of running the show and keeping everyone into it. And, I tried to say last week, we certainly don't, when I talked about urgency, we certainly don't have an urgency in terms of the work ethic during the week. It's really just getting to game day and not like tensing up on game day. And I think when you have veteran players out there playing, they don't tense up. They know what NFL games are going to be like. They're going to go back and forth, up and down. And when you have a guy like that out on the field with you, then it permeates throughout the entire team. So Shaq's a special leader. He's not some loud vocal, spokesperson, give speech type guy, which those are great too. Shaq's a guy that, like, when he speaks, people listens. And he also is an excellent player. So the interception he made was an unbelievable one. It was a great play. That was equal parts talent, ball skills, quickness, speed, and at the same time smarts and understanding route combinations. And that's what veterans bring to you. So I was fired up to see him do it. Glad to have him out there. Hopefully he comes out of the game well, and we can increase his role this week.
That was my follow-up. Thanks.
All right, Preston, I just want to jump in here because it just crossed. Matt, I just want to ask you, breaking news, Von Miller was traded to the Rams. Just kind of your initial instinct on them picking up a player like that.
Yeah, it's first I've heard of it. Yeah, I don't have much reaction other than that. First I heard of it, and obviously Von's a great player. So yeah, I don't know much else other than that.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
All right, guys, that'll do it. Thanks, Coach.